Hi everybody, it's Kimberly here. Today I'm going to talk about some practical jokes and little funny things that me and my coworkers have done to each other or to our bosses. And the light is too low. I don't know. One time, this boss that I had, he was kind of starting to get an attitude with us, and I think that he was getting a lot of pressure from above to like increase numbers and it literally was being run like a sweatshop, and it kind of the fact that they didn't realize, how hard we were working. Some of the guys in one area were working in an area that was like 130 degrees at one point, and they wouldn't turn on the air conditioner. It was conditions like that, just a horrible job. And one time I got really mad at him. I can't remember what it was. He just said something or did something that made me mad. And I told the girl I was working with, I was like, tell him I quit and I'm going to hide over here in the corner and behind the racks, and I want to watch that fat man run after me. And he came to the back, and the girl ran up to him, and she didn't speak very good English, so they were speaking in Spanish, and I could tell, she was acting really good, almost crying, and she's like saying, Kimberly left, se fue, and in Spanish, and uh, he took off, he ran all the way all the way from one end of the warehouse to the other, and it was almost, I would say, a couple hundred yards. And he ran into the parking lot, he ran around the parking lot, and then I guess he saw my car and he came back in. And I was standing there, I was just doing my work, like nothing happened, like I didn't know anything. And he just looked at me and goes, Did you leave? I was like, well, no, but I think I might go get a Coke at lunch. And he's like, oh. And he walked off. He knew that we had played him. And then another time, I was mad at one of my bosses, and I told this girl, I told him, I knew what kind of car he drove, and I wrote his license plate down for a particular reason, which I'm not gonna say. And then I just recorded it for a specific reason, and um, I told her, go tell him that they're towing his car, and tell him that the other boss that works with us um, saw that they were towing a white car with whatever license plate it was. Is that your car? And she went and told him that, and I was standing there, I watched him. He took off running. He ran out the door, went all the way around the building to the back of the building, and his car was still there. And he thought it was funny, but I was still mad at him. But it was just, that passive aggressive thing that you do sometimes. Sometimes it kind of makes you feel better when you can laugh at something, you know. And another time, I was working with a coworker, and well, not his wife, she was, I guess, a live-in girlfriend, and she was kind of crazy, and he had a shotgun in the closet for protection, and they got into an argument one time, and he stomped outside, went for a walk, and then he came back in, and he was a really nice guy. He wasn't a bad person. I really liked him. He was a really good friend. And he came back in, and he sat down at the table, and he called her in there, and he wanted to talk. He was saying, we need, we need to talk this out. And he didn't like fighting. He didn't like any kind of behavior like that. And she walked in there, and she shot off a round, and it blew right next to him. And it was really traumatic for him, And he told me about it the next day. He told me all about it. He was very upset, and I told him, I could tell he was upset. He was acting kind of almost like he was going to cry, or he just seemed very, very upset. And I was like, what is wrong with you? What? He told me the whole story. And so I was trying to tell him, hide that thing. Don't let her be near it. And just, yeah, try to talking to her, I'm not going to get in between your situation, but, make sure you hide that thing and talk it out. And we kind of laughed about it. And then a couple days later, it was April Fool's Day, and he played a little Fool's joke on me. And I can't remember what it was, but about I think it was the last break, a couple hours before we were supposed to go home. And I told him, I came back in from break and I told him, there's this crazy lady out in the parking lot. She broke some windows and I think they're going to call the cops. They went inside to go call the cops and she was roaming around. She had a metal pipe and she was busting out car windows and she was looking for, and I said her name, I think they said her name was, and I can't remember what his girlfriend's name was, but I said, I think it's whatever that name was. And I described her because I knew what she looked like. I had already seen a picture of her, and I described her, and and I said, and she was looking for, they said Orf, or so, I can't remember what, another name that they call him. And he, like that, and he ran into the parking lot. And he was, thinking it was his girlfriend and coming up there to get him or something. And he ran outside, and a few minutes later he came back in all strutting, like he looked like he had the body shape of Homer Simpson. He looked exactly like Homer Simpson in his body shape. And I remember he just kind of walked up. He goes, "You got me, you got me." And we both laughed about it. It was funny. And then this is a joke I played on one of my friends a long time ago. I draw. I'm a little bit of an artist. I haven't drawn for a long time, but when I was younger, I used to draw a lot. And I was kind of getting into painting. And my car broke down, and my friend had been giving me a ride to work for a couple of days. And I asked her, "Can you stop by this store? I need to get some paint and paintbrushes." And she'd already seen some of my drawings and stuff like that. And she goes, "Oh, you're painting now?" And she goes, "Oh, I can't wait to see." She was kind of excited. I had drew a picture of, I think it was a cat or something that she asked me to draw it for, and I drew it for her. And she put it in a frame, or took it home, put it in a frame. Oh, that was so pretty and everything. And so I thought this would be the perfect person to play this joke on. And I got a paintbrush and some paints, and she was questioning me about what kind of pictures do I paint. And I said, "Oh, just about anything. I make anything." And she's like, "Well, can you make me a picture? I'll pay you." And I was like, "Oh, you don't have to pay me." And she goes, "No, no, I'll pay you." And I was like, "No, no, I need to practice anyway. I need somebody to, like, critique, let me practice. I'll give you a few paintings and you can see, if you like them. And if not, then maybe we can decide, if you want to pay me to commission a piece, so let me do this first." And then, I think it was about a week later, I told her, we were supposed to meet somewhere, I think to eat or something like that. And she came to pick me up, and we were in the same car. Or either we were in the same car. I don't know if it's my car or her car. But I think this was like about a month later. A little bit of time had passed. And I told her, "Can you," or no. She was driving because I asked her again, "Can you go to the store, this art store or hobby store or something like that? I need to pick up some canvases." She got all excited. "Oh, are you painting your picture now?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not real satisfied with the one I did, but I'm going to start another one. I'm going to see what I can do." And then I continued that on for about another couple weeks. And then I think it was her birthday, and I brought it up to work, and I wrapped it up like a present, and I gave it to her at break time. And when she opened it up, it was really ugly painting. I mean, like the most ugliest, basic kind of, just not even artistic. I don't know. I just try to make it as ugly as possible. And I was like, "Well, how do you like it? Do you like it?" And she was like, "Yeah, well, yeah." Like she didn't know what to say. It was just hilarious. And I kept, through the next break, I think lunch or break or something, I went over to her at her table, and I was like, "Well, I can make you one like this, another one. I can make, a couple more small ones to go with it, and you can put all three, like a little display on your wall and everything. And yeah, which one do you want? Which one do you want?" And I think maybe like $20. That would be, since I'm not famous or anything like that. And she was like, you know, I don't know, Kimberly. I'm not really that, like, I was like, you don't like them? And I got, like, really insulted, acting insulted, you know. And she's like, they're not really very good, or just sorry. I was like, what? You know, and I acted real, you know, insulted and indignant. I was like, oh, you know, like my feelings were hurt and everything. And she's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but they're just not very good. The way she was like, I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she's like, well, look at their hands. And I had made, I think it was like a girl picking flowers or something. And she had huge hands. And I made like another one a little bit smaller. And the person's face was all kind of distorted, like Picasso-ish looking. And but it was, you know, really not like Picasso. It was just really ugly. And then I was like, it's a joke. I told her, and she was like, oh, Kimberly, you know. She was like, I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but these are so ugly. How could you make this? And I had that going on for, I guess the whole time was about a month. But I stole that joke from George Clooney because he did that to one of his friends. But he did it with a velvet painting. And so he said that in an interview, and I just thought that was hilarious. Well, thank you. And I just wanted to say something funny. I think sometimes some days are kind of stressful and hard, or just something kind of funny to think about. Well, see y'all later.